So hey, what's up guys, Roblox here and welcome back to some F1 2018 career mode. So here we are for episode number 3, we're going to be heading into round 3, but before we do that, let's take a look at the career standings so far. So this is after the first 2 races, and you can see we are a joint 7th place with Magnussen, ourselves and Fernando Alonso. So doing pretty well in the championship, McLaren doing decent as well, 4th in the constructors, Vettel, who's won both races, leading the way, and Hamilton's not had a great start to the season, so I expect him to come back a little bit stronger later on the season. But for now, let's get into the data center. Right then, so we've had the new parts in for the car, as confirmed by our engineer. So let's see. It doesn't appear that any failed. Well, we haven't been told that any have failed. So let's take a look, shall we? Yeah, the first one, the crankshaft, which will increase our engine power, has gone on. The new front wing has gone on as well. And then the new weight reduction part has gone on as well. We've got another 2,000 R&D points, that's the one I'm after, to spend on the car. So I'm going to develop this one for 520. We've got a little discount there. I'm not sure why we've got a discount. Failure chance has decreased as well. Okay, so we'll go for that, develop that upgrade. That'll be good for us. So by then we should be a little bit more competitive. You can see we've jumped up to 4th, which is where we are in the constructors actually. So we've had a fairly good start then to this career mode with McLaren. Nice and easy. Maybe it's time to increase the rear downforce as well. We'll develop that upgrade. We've got another 1,000 we can use. So do I go for this major upgrade and spend the rest of our resource points on that? Or do I go for this one up here? You know what? How long is the major one going to take? 3 weeks. I could develop this one in 2 weeks. And then we've got a bit more aero. But, you know, I think we need a bit of a better chassis, you know. And that's going to jump us right up to in line with Mercedes. So we could be powering this McLaren car up to some podiums and victories. So we're doing pretty solidly actually. I'm impressed. So if we keep up the hard work in practice, stuff like that, should be good. But you can see Ferrari have already made a jump forward, and we've made a bigger jump than the Haas team. Yeah, Haas has jumped up as well. So
this weekend sees us arrive in Shanghai for the Chinese Grand Prix. First up is today's practice session. A lot of focus is naturally on the drivers, but it's really important for the mechanics to get everything right as well, as one little mistake could cost the team and one of their drivers the race result.
These guys are so meticulous and they train and perfect everything that they do. Without question, they feel the pressure in the same way as the drivers, and they share the responsibility to ensure that the car makes it to the end of the race.
Right, so confirmation from the engineer that the new parts have gone on, which is good. So we've got the new parts going. It's going to be a dry race, so we may as well put our car setup on, which we'd use for the race, which we've used this one again, the one we've used all throughout our career mode so far. Seems to be working, so let's get out and do some track acclimatization. Now, I have to say, this is probably my least favourite track, and probably my worst track, along with Malaysia. So, we'll have to see how this one pans out then. Coming around the final corner then, doing okay, and as you can see at the start of the lap, I was terrible, and to the end, we did a lot better, so I don't want to do that lap again. I'm going to get into the garage, and I'm not going to bother doing this tyre management, ERS, not in this race. I struggle around this track too much, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this qualifying pace one. We could probably do the race strategy, but I want to do qualifying pace, and I just want to bang in some quick laps, get used to this track, and then we'll see where we can take it from there then. So as you can see, we're about a second of the time we need, so I think we might have some decent pace around here. The car definitely feels good. Can feel the R&D improvements already, so it's enough to put us into first place, and we beat the target. So you know, I'm going to go back to the garage. I'm going to skip to qualifying. You know, that's going to do me for this track. I mean, I do apologise if you want to see more from practice. I mean, I haven't uploaded any of these career mode videos yet, but if I know some people like practice sessions, but for this track I really don't like this track. I just want to get it out of the way of, to be honest. So that's the plan with that one. But I mean, we've done a fantastic lap there. I mean, I might need to turn the difficulty up now, starting to get used to the game. I'm thinking next race maybe Russia, put it from put it up to 100. But here we go for our interview.
It looks like you've really been focusing on research and development this season. You were flying in practice. Do you think you can carry this over to qualifying? It's the start of the season. How do you think things are going to go for you? Great. Well, that's everything.
Hey, there we go. Interview done. She absolutely loves it. But yeah. So as I was saying, I really don't enjoy this track. So it's one of those rounds I just want to get out the way. Just get it out of the way. China and Malaysia, I think they're two very similar circuits. I do not enjoy them. So Malaysia, luckily at the end of the season, but is it even on the calendar? I remember hearing that they were getting rid of it, maybe, but maybe I was wrong. But yeah, we got a few resource points, not too many, but we gained a little bit of rep with everyone, which is good. Gained a bit more sportsmanship. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Let's get into qualifying then and see what we can do. I don't think we'll be able to challenge for pole, not yet. I don't think the car's good enough yet, but there's no reason why, if we keep up the development pace we've got at the minute, why we can't achieve.
I'd like to welcome you from wherever in the world you join us today for this F1 qualifying session here in Shanghai, China. And as we count down to that green light, I have to say, Anthony Davidson, that this rain is not showing any signs whatsoever of abating. I imagine we'll be looking at some last-minute setup changes to better adapt these cars to the conditions. What do you think?
The trouble is, Crofty, they need to be thinking about the race tomorrow. You don't want to go jacking up the ride heights and piling on a few points of extra downforce that you're not going to want in the Grand Prix itself. The Parc Fermé regulations mean that you have to make that choice. The best thing the drivers can do is adapt with the tools they have available in the cockpit. Moving the brake bias forward will help stop the rear end slipping out under braking, and opening up the differential can really help tame the oversteer on corner exit. The drivers that can make best use of these techniques will have the best chance for success here today.
Right then, so here we are in qualifying. You can see in 10 minutes time it is meant to dry up a little bit, but what's it going to do at 15 minutes time? Dry up a little bit. So I'm gonna wait till the end of the session. You see, at the 20-minute mark, it goes really dry. So you want to be out. You want to be the last person to set a time. So I've got my setup ready. What car? I've got intermediate tyres on at the end. So we're gonna accelerate time a bit, okay? And then we'll take a look at the monitor, and we'll see what's gonna happen. Is it gonna dry up? Don't know, but there's lots of cars out, and I don't really want to go out yet. So we've got some wet weather times going in. If you take a look at the live feed, you can see it is wet out there. It's better if we ride with the onboard camera. Lewis Hamilton's lap then. You can see he's on a fast lap at the minute. He's quickest through the speed traps as well. Fourth in the standings, 18 points. Daniel Ricciardo's out. You can see it's still wet, so I'm going to accelerate time a little bit more. I mean, and if not, we are going to just have to go out right at the end. But we're going to have to manage the ERS. And by doing this as well, I'm only going to give myself one attempt, which is pretty risky. I guess, yeah, pretty risky. So, right. 4 minutes after the session. What is it looking like? It's still wet. So, I'm going to fuel up the car for a few laps. Might be able to get a few laps in. 6.1. 6 laps. Yeah, that'll do, because I'm going to have it in rich, of course. So, let's get out on track then and see what we can do in this qualifying session. So, it could be pretty risky not having come out yet, but we'll see. I'm feeling confident, but the rain has stopped, so don't tell me we should have come out on the dry tyres. I don't know. DRS has been enabled. We've not got time now. Right, let's go. We're spinning up the rears. This could be a mistake. I didn't think it was going to dry up like this. It's definitely dry tyres. Oh, no. so that it's very slippy. Well, not slippy, but as in wet, as in just no grips. The tyres are overheating a little bit, and we are 3.5 tenths just above of Hamilton's time. So far, I'd say a pretty decent lap time, as long as you can put the power down. I mean, there's still a little bit of a damp bit on the track, but it really is starting to dry up now. There's DRS as well, which is going to help us on our lap time. I don't think many cars are out, to be honest. So qualifying is complete. This is our only lap of the session. Bit sketchy round the final corner, a bit cautious, and across the line, I think we got 8th. I would take that. Ah, 14th. We lost it in the final sector, I think. That final corner cost us. Ah, okay. So, if we'd have been a bit more brave, we went out on the dry tyres, we could have got a much better lap time. So, some of the drivers didn't go back out. You can see Hamilton stayed in, Ricciardo stayed in, all these guys in intermediate stayed in, thinking it wouldn't dry up enough, and we did the same, but we went out at the last minute. Now, if we went on the dry tyres, it would have worked, but what would have been, it doesn't matter. We're going to make it up in the race, so let's get into it.
Ever since the Sauber of Felipe Massa passed Jenson Button into turn 1 at the very first Chinese Grand Prix in 2004, Shanghai has consistently provided close racing and extraordinary memories. It's where Lewis Hamilton effectively lost the title in his rookie year, and it's where Nico Rosberg claimed Mercedes' first win of the modern era in 2012. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk briefly about Sebastian Vettel. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, and Magnussen. Perez.
Right then. Race strategy is going to be dry all race. Could we switch up the strategy? You know, I don't want to risk anything. I really don't want to risk anything. Not this early on into the game. But it is tempting, you know. This would be a track to do it where potentially I'm going to struggle. If it was a 50% race, maybe, but we're getting into the race. Right then, we've got Lewis Hamilton ahead of us. If we can follow him through the grid, he should make his way through the field quite easily, so we're bogging down a little bit off of the start. Turn the ERS up. Right, we've got to be careful at the inside. We've got Ricciardo back here as well. Oh, it's all about your patience through here. And Hamilton, he's moving out of the way of us. And Sergei Sirotkin, but we're on the outside. Oh, I think it's Stroll, not Sirotkin. But we're already up into the points around the outside. We've got everyone. Job done. Look at that. Right then. So we've had a fantastic start. And that's one thing that's benefited us. We've had good starts, and that's made it a lot easier in the race. Even on the first race, where we're brand new to the game, we made a good start. And we've, so far, scored points every race, and we're looking to continue that, despite the poor qualifying showing. But the boost in performance for the car seems to have boosted Fernando Alonso. I mean, he's all the way up in, like, 4th place right now. So that's good for him. We've got Lewis Hamilton behind us, and he's coming through the field. If we can just sit in behind him, following through, that Mercedes car is so quick, especially with the ERS turned up, which I think he's got it right turned up. I mean, look at the boost he got out of there. I'm going to keep it in Rich, and we'll see if we can stick with him then. That'll be the plan. See if we can stick with him. Keep it in high ERS mode for now, I think. And we'll see if we can stick with him. Because if he's going to be able to carve his way through the field real quick, so I want to be able to follow him. So let's see what we can do then, ending lap number 1. 5th gear around the final corner, Vettel with the fastest lap of the race. You would expect that, he's leading the way. We've got Daniel Ricciardo behind us, so we're going to have to watch out for him. And I always forget to brake into turn number 1. We're going to hold the tight line, and oh my god, we're up the inside of Lewis Hamilton there, almost causing a collision. That's cost us both time, that has. And you can see Ricciardo's right behind us again. That was risky. Let's put the ERS into medium. So that has cost us a bit of time, that has, but Hamilton's straight back onto the back of the Force India. That Mercedes car is so quick, especially the engine. You can see right on the back of Lewis Hamilton now. If he can get a move on Perez, oh my god, he slowed right down there. That has cost us, but oh, you can see he's clearly got some ERS there. He's going for a move on Sergio Perez. He's going to be going up the inside. Both of them are Mercedes powered cars, and they're just pulling away from us. This Renault engine is not good compared to them. But we're trying to follow Hamilton through. We almost rammed into the back of him there. But Hamilton, he's going to go around the outside here, surely. Oh my god, what are they doing? They're going side by side, and it's costing them time. We're trying to use the ERS desperately to get past. And the slipstream, but it's just not working unless we can make a move up the inside of Perez. Oh, kinda can. Yes, we can. Collision with Perez, and again Hamilton chopping our nose off. But we're up into 9th place, so we're doing a good job so far of following Hamilton through. But we're gonna have to watch this battery usage. Gonna keep it enriched for the start of this race. See, he's going up the inside of Hartley there. Makes an easier job of the Honda power car he does. So we need to clear him as soon as possible. This McLaren has a lot more grip than this Toro Rosso as we come up the inside, and we've lost part of our front wing. Trying to force our way through, and we're on the outside still. Trying to come through around the outside. Okay, so the engineer's telling us to watch out as we try it around the outside there. Come on. Yes, there we go. Lovely move. Right, so meant to come into the pits on this lap. We've got a bit of front wing damage, but I'm not sure if it's really affecting us too much. So I wonder whether the team will decide to change it. I'm going to leave it down to the team. Because I'm personally not that bothered. The car feels okay. It's not too much damage. If you have a look, it's okay. And I don't feel too much understeer. But if the team decides to change it, then okay. If not, fair enough, I ain't bothered. So we're going to keep on pushing, see if we can get ahead of Magnussen, who we're currently joint in the championship with. And Hamilton's through on Magnussen already, and he's already heading on to the back of our teammate, Fernando Alonso. So coming in the pits then, we've got to watch out for this pit entrance. It's a nasty pit entrance. Coming down these bumps, you've got to be careful. And then coming into the pits. So, we're in the pits then. Let's see where we're going to end up coming out. So, Magnussen stayed out ahead of us. We've got Hartley behind. Hamilton's just pitted. I was hoping he was going to get caught up by some of the cars there. But he didn't. We're one of the M pit boxes. Right, let's get us out. Yes, so we're ahead of the Sauber. I was a bit concerned there that the Sauber would come out ahead of us and ruin us. Right, okay. So we're going to be finishing the race on this compound. I'm not sure if the team changed the wing. No, they didn't. So, saved us a bit of time in the pits, which is good. Let's see if it's going to affect our performance then on these fresh tyres. So, I was working on the previous compounder tyre, but this is a harder compound. So, I don't know if it will have any effect on us. So, come around the final corner then. Our teammate is in the pit somewhere. So, I think he's already exited the pits. Yeah, he has. Ah, that's annoying. But Magnussen, we might be able to do him around the outside. Our tyres are up to temperature. He's going to squeeze us on the outside, and he spins us round. Oh my god, get back on the track. And Magnussen, mate, just got caught in his tyre. I'm going to put it in hot lap mode. We're getting around him. I don't care. Coming up the inside. There we go. Let's be aggressive back with him. There we go. Job done. And we're up into 7th place. So you can see we're going to be coming around the final corner then to end lap number 6, start lap number 7, and Alonso is now ahead of us. So Hamilton has cleared Fernando Alonso. 6 seconds is the gap. So let's monitor that over the next few laps. See if we can gain on him. So through the first sector it's gone up to 6.2 seconds, but through the first sector we do have a damaged front wing, so that's probably why we're losing those couple of tenths in the first sector. Through the third sector, well, the second sector, 6.5 seconds, so lost another couple of tenths to Fernando through there, and we've now got Daniel Ricciardo behind us, so we're probably going to have to start turning our attention to being able to defend from the Red Bull of Ricciardo if he's going to be behind us. But I'm not sure what the gap is going to be to Fernando now. I believe he's probably going to get some DRS on Lewis Hamilton. But we're going to be coming across the line then. What is it going to be? The gap is now 6 seconds, so over the course of the lap it stays the same. So we lose a lot in the first and second sectors, so if we can get them nailed, which is going to be tough without half a front wing, then the last sector we're gaining, so it's all good. Actually, this time round it's still 6.0 seconds, so maybe we got a chance if we can keep on pushing, and Magnussen's battling behind with Daniel Ricciardo, so that's good for us there. But it's gone up again by a couple of tenths in the middle sector. But if we can claw it back in the final sector, then we might be able to catch up on Fernando on this lap. But then we've got to do it consistently over the next so many laps till the end of the race, the next 5 laps or so. So do we just settle for 7th place and start to turn our attention to defending potentially from the guys behind? So coming across the line then, what's the gap going to be? 5.8, so we gained 2 tenths on that lap then. So gap's grown to 6.4 through that middle sector. That's 6 tenths of a second we lost through there. So Ricciardo's now ahead of Magnussen again behind us. So again we're going to have to start, I think we're just going to have to settle for 7th place. A very static race in this 3rd episode. So I apologise for that. But we're going to have races like that throughout this career mode. Especially that's the way that the F1 races are at the minute. So we're just going to have to manage the car and see if there's a safety car or Alonso makes a mistake, anything like that. I mean, I could use some rich mix again. The gap's grown by 3 tenths over the course of that lap. Oh, we caught the grass then, and we got a massive 4-wheel slide there as we just lost all downforce. And you can look at the map behind. Ricciardo's on a charge. I'm going to turn the ERS down and start charging up the battery because I'm anticipating he's going to be on the back of us. Right then, across the line, what is the gap to the car behind? Well, 7 seconds to Fernando, but still 2.3 to Ricciardo behind, so that's okay. But it's this first sector where, and the mid, no, it's more the middle sector where we lose it to the AI. So let's see what this middle sector's like. I'm going to continue to charge the battery because we might need it towards the end of the race as the tyres go. At the end of the middle sector then, the gap's down to 1.3. Admittedly, I did have the ERS deployment at 0, but I am trying to charge up the battery for a few laps so we can keep it at least some ERS deployment at the end of this race. And down the straights I'm leaving it on low, so we like I say, at least we got a little bit of ERS deployment. But Ricciardo's going to be in that DRS zone very, very soon, and these last few laps we're going to have to defend from him. So let's see if the Red Bull driver's going to be able to do it. Behind, we've got a massive kick of oversteer there. Let's see then as we cross the line, come around the final corner. We've got no DRS of course, but Ricciardo might. What's the gap behind? Gap behind is 1.1, so it doesn't quite have the DRS yet. So as the engineer says, let's start using some of our stored up energy which we've been building up over the past few laps. I mean, it's allowed Ricciardo to catch up, but I've had to do it because my battery was empty, and I mean, at least now we've got some ERS where we can defend. It was inevitable Ricciardo was going to catch up, and he's going to come up the inside. We'll try to at least, but I can try hold it around the outside, but we can sneaky keep it behind him, and we might pick up the DRS here. So someone's slowing down. I didn't catch who it was that's slowing down, but I'm going to pick up the DRS. I have it in hot lap mode. We're not going to need to use that. I can turn the ERS deployment off on the straight. We don't need to use it there. Don't need to use the ERS deployment when we've got the DRS, which is going to help us anyway. But we're keeping it ahead of Daniel Ricciardo then. We defended off that attack. Maybe you went too early, but have gone wide there. Get back on the track. So, maybe Ricciardo pounced too early, used up some of his battery too early, but he's going to have to charge it back up and try and come after us. But I've got no spare fuel to use, but I've got this lap and the next lap, and that is it. So, we'll get ourselves a good 7th place here today. But we're going to have to work for it, as it seems to be at the end of all of these races. He's going to try around the outside, but that's not going to work. I mean, I went defensive on purpose. Going to use that high deployment. I'm going to put it back down to low round here because he's not. Well, in fact, I'll turn it off round here because he's not going to go for a move around here. I'm fairly certain he isn't going to get the opportunity. He could have got an opportunity there at the inside, but maybe he's saving it for the last lap. Who knows? Put that ERS deployment back up, and here he comes up the inside. And if I've got enough battery, give him room on the inside. But if I've got enough battery on the final lap, I can go overtake mode the whole time. So here comes Daniel Ricciardo. There's not a lot we can do. He's caught up to the back of us before the ERS zone, but our ERS... Oh, no, it hasn't. I was going to say our ERS has allowed us to keep up, but we've got the inside line, and we're squeezing him out, and we've got the job done there. Keeping him at bay. He's not able to get the job done. So I'm going to go hot lap mode for the rest of this lap then. Actually, no, we'll go overtake for the last lap. And let's see if we can gap him then. We're going to go all out on this final lap. Right then, Ricciardo's going to be lining us up for the final corner. He definitely is. We're not at the final corner at the end of this straight. So let's get our ERS deployment right up. Okay. Use what little fuel we've got. This is what we've got to defend with. Let's go. Using all our battery, all our last little bit of fuel. He's going to pick up the DRS, but is it going to be enough to come on the attack? I mean, look at us. We've got enough room, I think, to bring it home. As long as we hit our braking point, we get our braking point spot on. Absolutely lovely stuff here. Ricciardo can't do anything to get past us. At the end of the day, he's got a Renault engine just like us. If that was a Mercedes or Ferrari engine in the back of that Red Bull, he would come flying past us. But in the end, we get 7th place. A fantastic recovery from 14th place on the grid starting.
Effort there from Ferrari to take the victory today. So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari.
Right then, so here are the race results. As you may have heard, I don't know if I put it in the video, but we did actually get driver of the day. So that was good. So we climbed all the way from 14th to 7th place to finish right behind our teammate. Well, not right behind. We're about 11 seconds off. But next to him in the race results, so Fernando actually lost a place. Lewis Hamilton climbed up from 12th place, so that's good from him. Ricciardo climbed up for 13th, so we were the 3 drivers that were recovering from a poor decision in qualifying yesterday. So we're now at the point in the career mode where we're realising, right, McLaren, we're doing a decent job. We can pick off at least one of the Red Bulls, maybe. So now we need to see if we can get lucky with our development and push the McLaren into a top 3. Well, make the top 3 a top 4 fight. So we're really going to have to push the car, because I expect Red Bull, Mercedes and Ferrari to bring a lot of updates in the coming weeks and the coming rounds. So Looking at the race, the driver standings then, you can see we're now 2 points behind our teammate Fernando Alonso, but we are ahead of Kevin Magnussen. So we've remained in 8th place. I mean, Hamilton's dropped behind Verstappen now, so Hamilton's really not having it his own way. Bottas is the only one close to Vettel in the championship. Of course, Raikkonen's there, but you expect Ferrari to want Vettel to win. And here in the Constructors, you can see we're still 4th in the Constructors. Can we pick off Red Bull and get ourselves a nice top 3 finish by the end of the season? Who knows, but that's doing it for this race. So let's head back into the data center, see if we've got anything interesting going on, or whether we'll just end off the episode here.
The fans really... You made it look easy. You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
Right, oh my god. When it comes to horsepower, I don't think anyone could beat our engineers doing a fantastic job. It's easy when the car handles... Oh, go for that one. Keep our power unit department happy.
It looks like you've invested heavily in the development of new parts.
The improvement to the aero package has been phenomenal. Aero team are going to love that.
Today, didn't you?
Close battle with Fernando. We're pushing each other. Best drivers we can be. There we go. Sportsmanship increased.
Appreciate your time.
So we really are battling it tight with our teammate. He's a very experienced driver, and obviously Codemaster have made him quick in this game, but he's such a difficult teammate to beat in the game, and that's good because he is a difficult teammate to beat. As you can see, Van Dorn is getting absolutely smashed out of the park by him, but he's the last season in Formula 1, of course, but let's see them. We're still only 1 point behind him, because we did actually beat him for the fastest lap of the race, which is good. How many resource points did we get? Clean lap percentage. Good. So we've got a few more resource points. A bit more reputation with the team, which is good. Ferrari seem to be picking up a bit more rep with us. Alfa Romeo, of course. Sahara Force India. Formula 1 team. Red Bull. Toro Rosso. Where's Aston Martin Red Bull? Oh, they don't like us. Neither does Mercedes, really. So we're getting close to that veteran respect level. So we're picking up quite a lot of respect early on in our career, which is good. Now, I didn't know whether I wanted to be sportsman or showman. I don't really know.
Choose whether or not to participate before the end of this weekend.
Okay, let's go do this pursuit challenge. I want to do some of these career events. I didn't really do them in the previous, in F1 2017 career mode. I did one earlier in this career mode, but we only attempted it once. That was just a lack of time. I've been recording for like 2 hours, that first episode. That's why it's such a long video. I think it's 45 minutes in the end when I cut it down, but it's a 2-hour recording session. And I was just like, I can't play it anymore. But let's see about this one then. Germany in the 2010 Red Bull car, a lovely car. So we'll see. Right then. Hockenheimring 3 laps in this 2010 Red Bull car, which obviously won the championship. So what have we got to do here? We just got to win? Oh no, it's one of these where they let us go individually. Right, we've got to get used to the grip of these cars and the acceleration, which makes it difficult to do it first time round. Right then, let's see how we get on. So we're coming up to the back over this guy. Sorry. No, not sorry. Mikalaski. I got a warning for exceeding track limits. We're not going quick enough. I know we're not going quick enough yet. Come on. We need to whack in some amazing laps to do this. Gonna get up. Oh, we're not gonna get up his inside. He covered that one off well. Get up the inside. Come on. There we go. Job done. And let's see if we can catch up to 3rd place. So coming across the line then. What's the gap to the car ahead? 2.9 seconds. We should be able to close that down pretty quick. Right, so we're gaining. Got the slipstream. Got a quick car. Let's get past this old classic McLaren it looks to be. Oh, I'm looking for 8th gear, but there isn't one. Problem is, that McLaren there probably has the same top speed as we do in this one, but it's through the corners we make it up. And the acceleration by the looks of things. But once it's up to top speed, there's nothing we can do. But dive bomb him up the inside. He had to back out of that one. Right. Kaufman is next. We might have to retry this one in order to do it. Right, we got this guy just ahead of us, and then we got another guy first place just ahead of him. So can we do it? Coming through turn number 1. Look at the gains through turn 1. That Ferrari just doesn't have the downforce that we have. We might have a shot at doing this if we're quick. Oh, it's going to be close. Going to be neck and neck. Come on, let's get this classic Williams. Going to go the outside to get the inside line for the next one. Up the inside. Oh, contact. Crazy contact, but we managed to get through in the end. Oh, luckily no one crashed and we're going to win. That was a tough challenge, but a fun challenge because I forget how much grip these cars have and how quick they are. Oh, the lovely cars to drive. And obviously they don't have the big turbo on them. So you have to get used to the different power application. But there we go. Got ourselves a pass in that invitational event. So what I'm going to do before heading to the next episode, I'm going to turn up the difficulty to 100. And we'll see how that affects things. I think 95 was perfect, but I want to start pushing myself. If it's too much, we can always bring it back down. But for the next round, Azerbaijan. Oh, what have I done for this round? I hate this track. I don't hate this track. I'm not very quick at this track. Oh, dear. But oh well. Oh well. Right then, so that's going to do it for this episode. If you did enjoy this episode, do remember to give the video a like. Remember to share it around with your friends as well if you did enjoy. And make sure you do subscribe for more F1 2018 career mode, as well as other F1 gaming content coming your way very soon. So we will see you